Hello, Chris. How are you today?
Hi, Anna.
Thank you so much for spending the time doing this. I'm trying to get some feedback from my clients so we can help other people with their exercise goals and with their fitness goals, knowing what you guys have been progressing and doing in the period of time that you've been training. So I
Okay.
was just looking at your chart and I realized we've been training together for two and a half years. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long at all.
It seems like it was yesterday when we just met, right?
Right.
And I
When I
remember that
when
event.
I met you at Fatima's party.
That's right. That's right. You were doing a health fair or something like that, and I had a table with my information, and I remember we started talking about solar panels and all that, right?
And then you convinced me I should get healthy.
I convinced you. Yeah, I definitely turn your your arm for you to you were ready for that though. Yeah, so I guess I know at that time, and I think I remember. But what was the biggest challenge that you wanted to start working together? I know you were working with Fatima, which is our chiropractor friend, for quite some time, and you were getting.
Well, I definitely wasn't disciplined in doing weekly exercise, and you definitely started me on that regime. And since I was sitting down a lot for work, this is it definitely made a difference starting this exercise program that you've got.
Yeah, and that discipline, right? Of because I always say, because when people tell me that they cannot work out by themselves, it's like, in a way.
Well, I found that having someone to lead you and, basically not force, but encourage you to keep coming at the regular time every week. And that's proved to be very good.
Yeah, it's that accountability, right? Like we all miss many times, right? It's like even myself,
Right.
get on my.
I've tried I've tried several times to do this by myself, but that's been basically impossible.
Yeah, it's very few people have that commitment. So good for you that was it. So the challenge for you was to have that commitment to yourself, that routine that you will actually continue. And if you didn't have somebody that, like myself, forced you to do it, like literally go to your house, take you
Well,
to
it's
the.
not like you forced me, you encouraged me.
I remember going to your house, picking you up so you could make it to the studio on time. No.
Yeah,
No,
right.
but you know what I'm saying. Like having, like you said, it's like you have the appointment, so you make it. If you don't have an appointment with anybody, it's very easy to
Uh-huh.
say, I'll go tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes the next day and the next day, and then you go for a week without actually training at all, right? So
Correct.
yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm business. So most people need that accountability, which is a good thing. So that works. So what specific results, because you started with me for a reason, right? Which was you needed to exercise. You knew you needed to get some.
Well, I was told by Fatima, who was a chiropractor, that my posture was very bad.
Mm.
I had a tendency to more hunch over and not stand straight,
Yeah.
maybe due to because I was always sitting down at a desk. And my time with you has definitely helped that because I feel like I stand straighter now,
Nice.
and I've been told my posture is a lot better.
That's great.
Also, I started at pretty low weights when I started with you, and man, those I'm doing pretty heavy weights now.
Yes, you are.
So I've noticed that I'm a lot stronger than I used to be.
That's great. Yeah.
And
So you're.
walking up hills was and it's still a challenge, of course, but walking up hills on long hikes is a lot easier.
Great. Yeah. So that's posture, that is strength, and that's also endurance. So those are the three actually main things that most people, experience as benefits, and those are great. And coincidentally, my next newsletter, I write a blog every month, and my next newsletter actually talks about posture and how important it is, and how exercise really helps with it. Like it's one of the things that most people report like right away. It's like, my posture is improving. People are telling me, I feel taller, like I feel so much better, you know, and you don't have to force it. It just comes naturally, which I think
Right.
is key, right? It's not like you are stretching yourself or opening your chest. It's just you're just, your posture is much better and without thinking about it. There is, I'm talking on my blog, you can have the preview. There is this social psychologist that has written a book that is called The 12 Rules of Life, The 12 Rules of Life. And
Yeah.
I bought the book, but I've been listening to his interviews. And the first rule, guess what it is?
Don't know.
Standing straight. It's
Oh,
just,
really?
it's just good.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, he feel, you know, he, for his research and the time that he's had working with people, he's talking about how that changes how you feel about yourself and how you feel more confident and more successful and so many other things when you have good posture. And there's another person, Amy Cuddy, that has a TED Talk that talks about that as well. So there's a lot of research on that. And that's great. And you're a very tall guy, so you're probably feeling taller now than, how tall are you again?
6'1",
Six.
around.
Yeah, so you're probably like 6'1.5" after training.
I used to be 6'2".
Yeah, and the strength has been remarkable too. I agree. Like I remember not, and I usually don't start people with very heavy loads, right? Because you want to progress and you want to become stronger as you go. But it is true that you're at a point now where you know you're lifting very, very heavy weight, which is great.
Right.
That means that your strength is up there. So I know you were telling me today during our workout that you were lifting some things this week, and that are you feeling like that's something that you can do now easier than you were able to do? Are you feeling that difference carrying
Oh,
things?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
good. So, what is that something that has surprised you about the workouts? Because those are very like tangible results that I think you can see right away. But is there something that was like you didn't expect it, right? Maybe, and maybe it's one of those things.
Well, not unexpected, but I did want it. Reducing my waist size
Yeah,
by at least 2 inches.
good.
Stomach, you know, it's not as much as I want, but it's much reduced.
Yeah, yeah,
Strength, of course,
yeah.
and just overall well-being. I think I feel a lot better
That's
than
good.
I used to.
Yeah, that's great. And I remember that that was one of the main reasons too why you started because you wanted to reduce the the belly, right? And
Right.
definitely, I know there's been some results. And yes, I know that we've been working on how to get you to that other next level of feeling even leaner in that area, right? Which is
Hmm.
sometimes a struggle as we've talked about, you know, as we age. But I'm glad that at least you did make some changes there. And you said it's been 2 centimeters.
Sorry, repeat that.
How much do you think it's been? How much do you think did you reduce your belly?
Probably 2 inches.
2 inches. Okay, I thought centimeters because you do centimeters. Okay, but it's 2 inches. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad, right? Definitely some room for more.
Well, I'm sort of maintaining a 34 waist, which is pretty good.
And you've been maintaining it since you lost it because you got to lose it. What was it? The first 6 months after training or so?
Right, but then I started that intermittent fasting as well, which definitely made a difference.
Great. And then so you've been able to keep off those 2 inches for all this time.
Right. Yeah.
Right, with the nutrition and with the exercise combination of both. That's
Right.
perfect. That's very good, actually. That's excellent. Great. So let me just do something here because I lost you for a second. There you are. So what, and that might have been the most valuable thing, or you might have mentioned it, but if there is one of those things or if there's something else, what is the most valuable thing that you've learned, like working together? Like if there was one thing that you have to pick from all that, from all this time, what would it be?
Well, I've learned, the old adage is that you need to work out every day for like an hour and do a, major cardio and major lifting and just keep that up. But with your 20-minute exercise every week, twice a week, it basically does the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's surprising. And people still don't believe me if I tell them, but
People
that's
don't
I don't
believe
care.
you when I tell them, unfortunately. But it,
Sorry,
true, right? The people don't believe me when I tell them, right? But
I
it,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a great point. It's amazing. And I usually, when I introduce myself to people and they ask me what I do, and I explain a little bit the technique, and I tell them with less than an hour a week, you can get the same results that you do with an hour a day, right? And not even that,
right.
but you can actually make it in a safe way, right? Because when you are doing a lot of cardio, you are um, putting a lot of stress on your joints. So
Yeah, and when you watch these people in the gym, like getting on the treadmill for an hour and then going off and doing a whole bunch of exercise, I can't do that.
well, you
It's
didn't have
crazy.
the time, right? You don't have the time when you're working full time. So this is
Yeah,
very,
now I'm semi-retired. I probably could.
you probably good now. The question is, do you want to do it, right? The question, and sometimes that's what I ask some people that are very attracted to working with me also is because they don't like the gym. They don't like going to the gym. So the fact that they can do just 20 minutes, either at a
Right.
studio that is private or online, right? Is very
Yep.
efficient. But I actually like very much that you said that as the most valuable thing, because I do think that's the most valuable thing of this type of training. I totally agree with you. Is that how much time you save and how much more you accomplish without having to push yourself to do things, 1 hour a day or more. So that's
I
great.
don't know. I don't know if this is worth putting into the routine, but I think stretching. I would like to do more stretching because I know I'm not that flexible,
Yeah.
and that should be. I think that should be part of this discipline.
Yeah. And the thing is that, and that's a total valid point because I think stretching is important, but this is not a stretching routine, right? Like it's more of a strength training. So I
It's
do.
more strength
Right.
and
So I always
endurance.
recommend people, it's going to enhance your flexibility, but it's not going to be the focus, right? I think for that, things like yoga, things like Pilates are perfect because they are not so much about the strengthening, they are more about.
Right.
So I always think that doing a yoga class, every week or something like that would be recommended, or even not even going to a class, but just stretching by yourself. You can accomplish the same thing just by stretching by yourself.
Maybe you should try and encourage that for your customer or your clients.
Absolutely. And I usually do actually. When people ask me that flexibility is one of their goals, I
Mm.
definitely get them to do something more than just the strength training for sure. And if you want, we can talk about it a little bit more if that's your goal.
Well, I'm noticing that older I'm getting. I'm 68 next year, so I've got to keep that flexibility going.
Yeah. And just keep in mind that being stronger is also going to enhance your flexibility. So it is part of it, but if you want to focus more on that, always in moderation, right? Because too much flexibility is not good either because it's going to overstretch your joints and that can actually incur into injuries. So you want to be careful with too much of it, but once a week or every day, very gentle stretching, you are okay. I'm
Yep.
not a big proponent of stretches that are either done under extreme heat conditions because your body doesn't know how much is stretching at that point, or done too often because I think it's actually doing the opposite. And I do
Right.
have clients that, I've trained that are recovering from overstretching the joints, and that produces a lot of pain as well. So everything in moderation, right? It's like the strength training.
Everything in moderation. That's right.
You don't want to strength train like we do every day either, because your body won't grow. Your body will probably be weaker, as you go. Yeah. So, Chris, I wanted to ask you because you've trained with me at the studio where I train, and now you did one online class a little bit a while back, and you're going to try another one this week, I think, one of my classes, my mixed classes. But do you remember, if you remember, right, what was,
Yeah.
yeah, or what did you feel that was different? Yeah,
Well, you don't get the same strength um, capabilities because you're not using those machines. So you're using your body basically as a you know your body weight is like it, and it's not the same.
hmm
You can't get as an intense a workout.
when you don't
Uh,
have the weights, right? Unless you
right.
have free weights or something else. Yeah, true,
Right.
very true. So it was easier for you.
It was okay, but I much prefer the in-house
Yeah, and tell me
machine.
why.
But if you can't do it, you can't do it.
No, tell me why you prefer the studio.
Well, I get to see you,
That's always a plus. Seeing the
but I think you get more intense value from using the machines than using your own body weight, and without the, if you're going to do it on the internet, I think you're going to have some supplements. You're going to need weights. You're going to need bands, maybe, whatever to help.
Right, exactly. And that's what yep. And that's what I usually recommend to everybody that I train online is that either, you can have like a stability ball, right? Or some free weights or something that is going to give you more resistance. And as it gets easier, then you progress with more weight and more weight so you can make it harder. So it
Right.
can definitely be a very intense workout too when you have that external resistance. If it's just your own body weight, definitely is not going to be as intense. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That 100%. Well, I hope you try it this week because I want to see how you feel. And you have any equipment? Do you have any weights these days or a ball or something like that?
I can get some weights, yeah.
That'd be great because then you can actually.
Maybe those stretching cords or something are good too.
Yeah. If you have, I always recommend, so the ball, if you have like a stability ball, which I don't think you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can do bands and then you can do free weights. And then, you can just follow the exercises using that resistance. I think you will feel it a little bit different than you did the first time with nothing. Good. So I have one more question for you. What goal do you have, if any, in the next 6 months to a year? What fitness goal do you have? Something that you would like to accomplish, or something that you've been thinking that you would like to do your body change?
I think I'd like to lose some more weight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at like 204 or something, or 202 right now.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to lose like 4 or 5 pounds maybe.
So being under 200, that's usually our goal, right?
Right. Lose more stomach
Mm-hmm.
to get that flattened.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most difficult one.
Okay, good. So maybe getting another inch or two. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
When you go
That's proving to be extremely difficult.
When you go under 200, do you usually lose a little bit more of the stomach?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit. Okay. Okay. Good.
But it doesn't. You just can't make it come all from your stomach. It's going to come from everywhere.
Yeah, you know that. We've talked about that, yes, for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering if you feel the change there too when you're using that, when you're going.
Oh, absolutely. When you're losing weight, you're feeling better.
Yeah.
But the secret is not to eat too much and to eat well.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
That's probably more important than exercise in some ways.
Well, you can lose the weight without exercising, no doubt. You just need to.
Right.
You don't need to exercise. Now, what exercise does is that it's going to help you lose it faster, and it's going to get your body in a healthier place, right? When you do both together. If you just do nutrition, absolutely, you can lose as much weight as you want to a certain point. But the exercise makes it so much better. It's like I always say it's 50-50 because of that reason, right?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to keep you accountable for that goal.
You're going to give me a what?
Accountable for that goal.
Yeah.
Going under 200 in the next 6 months or so. So that sounds good to me. Okay. Well, you've been there. So it's not like you've never been under 200. You've been there.
Right.
Right. Good. Great. Anything else that you want to share or that you want to comment on, or anything else that I haven't asked you that you're thinking?
No, I think I've gone through everything. You're very easy to work with, and it's been a real great pleasure working with you.
Yeah, same here. I was actually gonna say this thing. You're also very easygoing and fun to work with, and it's been a pleasure. And I thank you very much for 2.5 years. I cannot believe it's been that long. That's great. Good. Excellent. Well, I hope to see you on Thursday, Chris, on our class. You have the call and everything, but if you need it again, let me know. And I'll see you on Friday. You get 2 more workouts this week. Mamma mia.
Is that the same call as this?
No,
basically?
it's a different one. You will get an email reminder on Wednesday, so tomorrow. in
Okay.
24 hours. And if you don't have it on Thursday, let me know and I'll send it to you. Okay.
All right. Mhm.
Good. All right. You have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much
Okay.
again.
See
Thank
ya. Bye bye.